Right, hello there, everyone. Welcome back to James Redmond TV. And I don't know if it lagged at the start there, but we're underway and we're off and we're flying. And shout out to everyone who's in the stream. Big up to my man Kazi. Kazi, how do you feel that you were the first comment that I saw tonight, sir? You absolutely gorgeous barstool. Redmondinho, are you going to make a Discord server? No, not right now. I mean, if the demand increases, why not? Of course, I'd do anything that you want me to do, but right now, not on the tip of the of the to-do list. Lateness is greatness, indeed it is. And I will. Do you know what? Let's just delve into the show straight away. Let me let you know what you are looking out for tonight. First on the agenda is your comments. Well, actually, we are going to talk about Salah. Hussam, are you in the stream? Hussam, are you in the stream? Yes. Salah controversy, and I'll bring that up in a second. But Hussam, are you in the stream? Now, the reason why I mention Salah controversy in the title is for the sole reason that every single time I go on Twitter, every single time I go on Instagram, there's always a debate. If you go in the comments, there's always a debate about Mohamed Salah. Every single day when you go on these platforms, it's either he's one of the best or he's nowhere near. And that he cannot chat to the... Do you know what I saw a United fan say the other day? That David Beckham is better than Mohamed Salah. That David Beckham. If you want to say someone like Eden Hazard based on preference, then I can understand the logic because you have a preference. And I suppose if you have a preference, you could prefer someone like David Beckham. But first and foremost, two completely different players. And if you want to go off legacy, because they're two completely different players, then Mohamed Salah far outweighs David Beckham. The same way that he far outweighs Eden Hazard in terms of legacy as well. But yes, if you want to say player for... Who knows? But to be fair, Eden Hazard's a lot closer. Beckham has a great legacy too, but come on, Mohamed Salah is best right winger Premier League's ever seen, best right winger, if not up there. And the reason why I mention the Salah controversy is because people get caught up nowadays in, for instance, when I bring up Mo Salah, and I simply bring up about what he might need to go in a couple of years, or he's not as good as he was 2 years ago. That does not mean I'm saying he's done, or that does not mean I'm saying he's finished. I'm simply just saying we might need to start looking for a replacement for Mo Salah. It is always good to stay on top of your best players and giving them competition constantly. But it just seems that the disrespect that Mohamed Salah gets is mad, people. It's crazy. I don't understand how you can be, before Haaland, the top goal scorer in the Premier League season, goal record, and that not get talked about. I don't understand how he can come in his first season, score however many goals that he did, and then not just get respect from that. He needed to do it again and again and again. The guy has scored in a Champions League final. People say he doesn't score in big games. The guy has got about 50 plus goals against top six sides, but people say he doesn't score in big games. And then therefore I have to then sit there and say, well, how do we define big games? Are we just using finals as the reference, or are we using big games as a whole? Also, not to mention, every time we've had a penalty shootout, which was twice last season, the season before, he actually slotted the penalties, a big game moment for a big game player. Now, this is a video for respect of Mo Salah, but chat, did you see Hussam in the chat before? And no, I did not see the stuff about Ibu, Ahmed. Please do let me know this. And the reason why I asked before if anyone knows if Hussam's in the chat is because Hussam is actually going to be on the stream later, in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I want to do a debate with Hussam, and I'm going to basically play the part of someone who hates Mo Salah, and I want Mo Salah to leave, right? So I'm going to do that for about 10, 15 minutes, chat. Yous can't tell him, and I probably shouldn't have told yous, but because yous are sick, I know you'll play along with it. He loves Mo Salah, but I'm going to make it like I want him to go, but I just want yous to know that I don't actually want him to go. So I'm praying that he's not watching this, because that would have ruined the plan. But anyway, let me know if that's a W of a plan, guys. Anyway, what's going on with Ibu Konate? That was the grape that I had with Mo Salah, the fact that he doesn't get mentioned as one of the best, even though he's quite clearly one of the best, and it's actually not even close in his position. But apparently something happened with Ibu Konate. And yeah, do you know when Hussam comes on the stream, guys, I'm going to debate him like as if I really want Mo. Like, do you know when I'm in my ruthless debating mode? When I'm in my ruthless debating mode, that is, like, that's what I'm going to do. But as in Mo Salah leaving, trust me, it's going to be crazy.
Ibu wants signings, yes. So, in fact, no, I did see this. So, if this is his agent or if this is Ibu himself, then yes, 100%, I did see this. And big up to Ibu Konate. Not the only player to come out and speak on the front, by the way. Mo Salah, Ibu, Virgil. Now, here's the thing, guys. When these players come out and tweet, just know it might not always be their tweets. It could be their agent or it could be their manager. It also could be the club themselves. Just know the club have heavy influence over these tweets and stuff like that. It's a part of the PR scheme. When you sign for the club, they have a certain control over your social media accounts on what you can and cannot say. I just want you to know that there's a limitation to what people can say. So therefore, whether it's Ibu or whether it's the club themselves, and it's maybe even a bit of both, this is a good thing that we're seeing players constantly coming out saying that we need signings, because that means there's got to be conversations within the football club. What I like about these words from the players, it now holds accountability. It's no longer Jurgen Klopp just coming out and saying, oh, yes, well, of course, I'm happy with the team as always, you know, in his beautiful German accent. But the thing is, we know that he's bullshitting because that's what he's told to say. Rightly or wrongly, the one thing that I wouldn't advise anybody on this stream to do is piss off your employer. Therefore, he has to say what he's got to say. Whereas now, whether it's the club or the players, there's accountability that's held through words. Now, if they don't go out and significantly invest on the right players, then that means we can hold them accountable for their words, because apparently we can't do that already in terms of FSG. But now we can hold the club accountable. And then if we do get the players that we need, then that means, and we still don't improve, then that means we can point the fingers at Jurgen Klopp. I'm not trying to find someone to point the finger at, but if we don't improve, if we get the signings, then we have a telling answer whether it's Klopp or not. If we don't, then we'll know the answer about the owners in terms of the ambitions, because now the players are even speaking out. It's either the club's disagreed with the players if they're not going to go and buy players, or they're telling the players to say this because they want to go and buy players. It's one or the other, and I'm just glad that players are talking about it, because now that means urgency. Now that means you've got to back up what you're saying, and that's a huge, huge factor in football. By the way, we've nearly got 200 people in here. Smash a like, you gorgeous people. Honestly, it's been amazing, the support the past few days. The video earlier is smashing it as well. So, big up yourselves, guys. The channel's growing day by day. Thema Viaduct says, 5th wealthiest club in football, 12th highest net spend in the Premier League. Why is billionaire John W. Henry so tight? Club is worth 12 times what they paid for it. Hands over 350 million. Be happy with 11 times whatever you paid. Yeah, last word. Do you know what, mate? You can break it down all you want. These FSG inners or people who aren't quite FSG out, they won't see it. They won't take it that way, because they'll mention that they built a stadium and they'll mention that they improved the club. Exactly what an owner's meant to do, especially when you buy the club in the worst time of its life. Like, here's the thing about Liverpool when FSG brought it over. People say like as if it was a godsend, and it was, because someone saved us. If it weren't them, it was going to be someone else. And maybe that someone else wouldn't have done as well. But I'm just saying, there weren't really much further down to go. There was bankruptcy, and that was it. If we were safe from bankruptcy, we were still in the Premier League. So there weren't much further down to go. And people say, oh, but they improved us. They added a few seats in the stadium, which is great. I don't want that to sound like I'm taking anything away. I just don't understand how it outweighs the bad. And it's why I bring it up and why I'm glad that now we can start holding them accountable. But let me know what you think in the chat, because I don't want to go on and ramble for half an hour about FSG again. James, do you think Besiktas will have a place in the first team squad next season? Highly doubt it, Ash. Highly, highly doubt it. That would be an example of rushing somebody into the squad, unless he gets played straight away and he's playing amazing straight away. The only way I'll accept that is if Jurgen Klopp's seen something that I haven't seen. But based on what I've seen, it'd be too soon to say straight away. Where do you reckon Bobby will end up? Wouldn't mind the Saudi League. Wouldn't mind La Liga. I remember hearing the Real Madrid link. Probably weren't true. Probably will never happen. But if they wanted to get him as an option, I would love that move for Bobby. A little bit more success, yeah, a few more trophies to the cabinet. Johnny says, bro, what about if it was someone else other than FSG, like Everton's owners or United's owners? That's the thing. We don't know until we try. And if we did get those owners, specifically those owners, obviously it wouldn't be great. But would it be good to see more investment with the manager? Wouldn't it be great to see the manager have have a little bit more say on his transfers. Because another thing FSG inners can't give me is the evidence to support the claim that Jurgen Klopp has full control on transfers, when there's actually things that contradict that saying. If Klopp had the say on everything, he would have kept James Milner, he would have kept other players, but he didn't, because it weren't his say. And whether you agree or disagree on keeping James Milner isn't what I'm actually asking. I'm simply saying that is what we know. That's a disagreement. What else have they disagreed on? There's nothing to support that claim. Mate, you disrespect the top and behind the scenes of LFC and FSG. They are perfect and have to stick to the strict model that involves success, bro. Please understand. Haven't gave me one thing to suggest they're perfect. Not one. If you like them, that's one thing. To suggest they're perfect is something that is completely ludicrous. And in fact, Johnny, makes me suspect that you are high on Budge. On Budge, and not the good side, by the way, Johnny. And if you need somebody, I live in Liverpool. It is standard to have numerous contacts in the phone. I can send you a guy a lot healthier than what you're receiving right now, Johnny. Hashtag just saying. Everton and United owners do spend money. They just don't have Klopp and good recruitment. They make bad decisions. I'm saying, imagine having amplified funds, more resources, with a manager that we know sick. Why can't that get in your head, Johnny? You know what I mean, Johnny? I don't know how many times I need to say this to you. Because all you're saying is they're good enough. But then if I reference Bob Paisley, literally the guy who created the foundation and the history of the club that you support, he would be rolling in his grave hearing a Liverpool fan saying that. Trust me, he would. And it's why we need to reinforce the standards, because it's people like Johnny who get an indoctrinated chat. We need to save them. We need to do a Liverpool fan saviour campaign. And then from there, we can bring all the guys who have been indoctrinated back into the life-saving. Like, don't worry, it's okay to be a winner. We can be winners together. You don't have to be there alone. You'll never walk alone in Europa League. Because I don't want to be in Europa League, and I don't want you to walk alone in the Europa League, Johnny. Do you know when I'm winning Champions Leagues after Champions Leagues? Because of the reinforcements and the agency that people like me and fans like me claim. I'm not saying I'm the Messiah. I'm not saying I'm the be-all and end-all. I'm just simply suggesting my solutions aim for trophies. Your solutions compete for European top four. That's what your solutions find. And that's what they are finding, which is why I know that's what your solutions find. Tekis Dave comes out and says, tell who Salah should have been, the ones that... Don't even mention nothing about that no more, chat. That's already set in stone. Agendas must agenda, in the words of Esther. Agendas must agenda. Therefore, I'm going in, and he'll be in the stream soon, so I'm going to need to probably warm up, and yous know what I'm doing. FSG are happy with being fourth every season and winning no trophies. They do not want to win. Their model is only sustainable for momentary success, especially now in a league dominated by money. This is all I'm saying. It's just not sustainable having them as the owners. Now, it's a different question on who you get, for instance, and it's one that we can delve into. But I'm just simply saying that we're not going to be winning in the short term. Lads, you don't understand. Right people like Michael Edwards and behind the scenes have been the right people over the years. Right, that's why we've competed the last 5 or 6 years, and we've won everything. We've won everything once, and we actually competed 2 of those years. We never competed for the league. So I wouldn't say 5 of the last 6 years. It's actually, we never. What do you mean 5 of the last 6 years? There was 2 seasons ago, and then this season. That's 2 of the last 3. And the only good period that we had was 1 good period where we sold Coutinho and we got all the transfers correct. All of our transfers since, or not all, but some have been very questionable. And it's a case of, was that the owners or was that Jurgen maximising the players that he had? I don't know if that's fair. Oh, man got a phone call, lad. Man got a phone call. Nah, that's Mr. St. Valentine. He should know I'm live right now. Mr. St. Valentine. What was I in the mode of saying? Oh, shout out to Tammy, man. No one's going to be perfect for the club, but there's defo something going on behind it. Shout out to Tammy. Missed you, Tammy. Hope you're well. Behind the scenes, look at the amount of background stuff leaving, staff leaving, doctors, sporting directors. This is what I'm saying. It's either a revamp or it's something where something really, really weird's going on at the football club. And that all stems from the owners, whether you like it or not. If you identify Klopp as a problem, that's still an ownership issue. I don't get how that... I don't know how that doesn't correlate. Or, do you know what? Let me tell you a sentence that doesn't make sense. Are you ready for education? I can actually do it, you know. I weren't great in school. Football, I know a thing or two. Get ready for education. Do you know a sentence that does not make sense at all? a sentence that doesn't make sense. Oh, it's not FSG's fault. It's Jurgen Klopp's fault. That doesn't make sense. Not one bit of that makes sense. And if you can tell me how that makes sense, I am up for listening, reading in this case. Otherwise, I know for a fact, in the name of sweet Nancy Francis, you would not be able to give me a response to that. Because if Jurgen Klopp's doing wrong, then isn't that FSG? And then if Jurgen Klopp isn't getting the resources, isn't that FSG? And if two out of the last 3 seasons we haven't competed, isn't that FSG? And if we only competed once before Jurgen Klopp came, isn't that FSG? I'm only asking simple questions. That's it. And Islam says we should get Barella, Lavia, Thuram, Kone and Pavard sorted, boss for the next 5 years. We're not getting Pavard. A little update on Pavard. We're not getting Pavard, at least this summer, and I doubt ever. And yeah, let's just buy the whole Premier League. Why don't we? Why not? Why not? I'm game on that idea as well. Oh my God, we found the solution, chat. We win the Premier League by no other team having players. Just buy all of them. Come on, FSG. Don't be stingy. What I don't understand, though, is how Klopp deals with it. There's 100% disagreements that we don't know about. I can't say that for sure, but I do really believe that there's massive disagreements. Liverpool are just like the Boston Celtics, 1 championship in 35 years. Is Larry Bird really popular in Liverpool? In terms of the comparison, I'm not really one to watch the Boston Celtics, but if it sounds like 1 championship, then yeah, I mean, that's it for us. James, where do you think Ox ends up? Oh, he could end up anywhere. Why doesn't he go to the Saudi League? That'd be all right. Or Rangers, Celtic, one of those 2 teams. I think that'd be good. Last season, we were useless in all 5 departments, but previous 5 seasons, we missed on Prem by 1 point twice and won once. Champions League final, 3 winning once. Wait there, let me try and read that again. It's not like we've been competitive, to be fair, on FSG. Right, let me read that one more time. 5 seasons, missed out on a Prem by 1 point. Twice and won once. Okay, I get you. So twice we missed out and we won 1 Premier League. Champions League final. 3 Champions League finals, winning 1 of them. It's not like we've not been competitive, to be fair, on FSG. But then is that FSG or is that Jurgen Klopp? And the same way you've got to give them blame when stuff is going wrong, then you've got to... But then if we've saw a case study, Jurgen Klopp can make loads with what was Mane, who weren't established, Salah, who weren't established, all these players who weren't established. Then imagine if you give him someone who was established. Imagine if you did give him Luis Diaz a little bit more earlier. The point I'm saying is, if you show a little bit more urgency, the difference of 3 finals becomes 3 Champions Leagues. The difference of 2 times where you missed out on the title by a point becomes 3 Premier League titles. And then you're not complaining about Manchester City cheating because you don't have to worry about corruption if you can beat the corruption. I don't get how that isn't, how that doesn't go through people's heads. And exactly, second is in a trophy. I don't get why that is celebrated significantly. It's significantly good for the fact that, the context says it's good. But if we want to win the league going into the season, then it's not really good if we miss out on it. James, we'd be Spurs if we didn't have Klopp. Our owners and theirs are the same, content with top 4 and nothing more. I think you're right, my friends. I really, really do think you're right. We shouldn't feel so down about this season. We only finished 2 points lower than we did in 2021. And the next season, we were chasing a quadruple. The difference is in the 2021 season, we done everything we needed to do to get top 4. This season, we didn't. And that's through a lack of preparation. And I'll tell you what, in life, you're constantly preparing, because even when you're not preparing, what that is doing is preparing you to fail, chat. That's a nice little one from a book that I found somewhere. You have to understand FSG have a good model for European football, I agree. And we all appreciate we could be like the Daniel Levy's model, which is pure profit, not winning, and legacy FSG that have involved that into their model. All I'm reading when I read your comments, Johnny, is top 4. I'll have to get you on the channel to give you the proper chance to explain yourself, because I don't know if I'm just being blinded or biased or anything like that, but I just don't understand. Like, all I read when I read your paragraphs, Johnny, is top 6. Like, I'm fine with top 6. Top 6 is fine. Just because they do it nice and they do it fair, and I'm fine with top 6. That's all I read. I'm not meaning to. I'm trying to see your point, and that's why I read every one of your comments. I just don't understand it. James, who's your dream signing realistically this summer? I don't even know at this point. I answer that question all the time and it's always a different answer. Glazers didn't allow Ferguson to spend money up until he retired from what he sold Ronaldo to Madrid. I knew things started going downhill as soon as he replaced Rio with and Vidic with Smalling and Jones. That's the thing. Just spat everywhere. If you can actually have a good era, it doesn't mean you're going to continue on that era. The thing is with Manchester United, they were the richest team in the Premier League up until Chelsea. And then, because they had a great manager like Sir Alex Ferguson, they were still able to win trophies and do things. I'm not saying Jurgen is Sir Alex, and I'm not saying what. I'm just simply saying he's shown he's a great manager. He's shown he can win at Dortmund. He's shown he can win at Liverpool. If he can win at these two teams who are underdogs, Dortmund haven't won a league in the Bundesliga since Jurgen Klopp. We haven't won a league title 30 years prior to Jurgen joining, or however many years it was. And then he won us a league title. He does things that, like, records that don't look like they're going to be broken anytime soon. He does it. And we sit there and say it's his fault more than the owners. We made 400 million in the Champions League winning year. Probably ain't even spent that. And what about all the other years of bread we've got? FSG out. Man for real. Says Enislam. Mike Daz says we can't think about the past when we have now got 4 other teams who can drop 200 million a summer, rather just one in City 4 years ago. This is what I'm saying, you know, chat. By the way, there's 300 people in the stream. Let's smash a like. Hopefully as well, Husam's going to come in the chat, and we've obviously got that debate because I've got a few things I need to say about Mo Salah, you know, chat. I've got a couple of things I need to say about Mo Salah, and I don't think you're going to like it. So all you little top reds, deal with it. Pussies. As we will be in top 10 next year, just about Klopp bought another injury-prone centre-back. Who is the new Martin Skrtel? Martin Skrtel. I love the way you've wrote his name as well. Just absolutely butchered it to the hills. In hindsight, everyone's a philosopher. You can't keep looking back. Why don't we just move forward? I get it. Everyone's a philosopher. But does that mean if I predicted this a year ago, does that make me a philosopher? And if I predicted this 2 years ago, that this could be the common theme if we don't keep on investing, is that making me a philosopher in hindsight? Or is that making me a philosopher beforehand? Does that actually mean maybe James is onto something on a couple of things? And it's not just me who's came to these conclusions. I learnt about all this through other information that you have access to. So yes, everybody is the biggest genius in hindsight. Oh, the most 2020. But I'm just saying, I don't live on 2020. I live on 420, brother. And that's much, much higher. That was supposed to be a bar that failed. Basically, I'm just simply suggesting I've saw a couple of things that have proven to be true, and it so happens the guesses are right, and I'm not really best pleased with the position that the club's in. I don't understand why that's a problem, and I don't understand why I can't identify the previous inconsistencies as they can then become future inconsistencies. Got there in the end. Jesus loves you, James Ladd. Jesus loves every single one of you as well. Whether you know it or you don't, he absolutely adores you. Nah, he's doing a lot in my life. He's doing a lot on James Redmond TV. We're absolutely booming at the moment. Henzo rumoured to be taking some more of a squad role next season, similar to Milner's. Will it be his last season with us? And can't imagine him satisfied not playing long term. I get that, but his contract's only till 2025. And I believe he'll just probably see out his contract then. Chat, do you think we'll sell Henderson, or do you think his contract will just see out and then boom, that's it? Like Henderson will just go. Sorry, will his contract expire, or will we sell him? Like, do you think Sunderland would want to come in with like a little, I don't know, like a little £5 million deal, little Jordan Henzo Nino to Sunderland for £5 million? Don't mind if I diddly do, mate. You know what I mean? Does Reece Williams have a future at LFC? No. Shout out to Reece Williams though. Him and Nat Phillips were the gangsters. The gangsters they was. The problem, isn't it mad the way Nat Phillips is with whose daughter is he with, chat? Whose daughter is he with? Nat Phillips. He's with like a famous person's daughter. The problem is, if FSG don't want to sell, it's going to take some serious revolting to get them to do it. But half of our fan base worship the ground they walk on. This is what I mean. I haven't even. Do you know what? I'm only FSG out because apparently they are the only two options. I've also always said if FSG begin to invest a little bit more, like the way winning teams should do, and that's what we're supposed to be as Liverpool Football Club, then they're in my good books again. You know, and then I know I can, like, trust them over a long period of time to say, by the way, Husam's here, so I'm just going to get my... Where the bloody hell's are my headphones, mate? Wait there, chat. Where have I put those headphones, mate? Do you know what? I might have to do without... Let me just check my room. It's a small flat, luckily. Oh, well, that's there. devastated, mate. That's absolutely heartbreaking. Like, there is there. So, chat. I don't know what I was even talking about previous, but it's just... We'll talk about FSG more another time. We've got an absolutely insane guest on the show. 330 people in the stream as well. Hussard! My guy.
Hello,
How
James. How are you doing?
I'm boss,
thank
bro.
you for
I'm boss.
having me on the channel.
Have we got a delay again? Delay?
He's lagging like crazy. It ain't me, right?
Am I wait, chat? Am I lagging or is Hussam lagging? Only because my stream's okay. Yours seems to be delayed. Hussam, we'll try and make it work and see if it syncs over time. If it doesn't, then we can just ask you to leave and then come back. Guys, before we do fully introduce Hussam, be sure to go subscribe to his channel. This is football. I am going actually to put that in the title as we speak. Hussam, do you want to introduce yourself to the James Redmond faithful?
Yes. I don't know why the comments are saying it's fine for us, because maybe it's just my fault. Let me just hop out and hop back in. Let me
Say
see.
no more. Say no
I'm
more.
a hop out and hop back in.
Go.
So yeah. Okay, fair enough. Let me hop back in.
Jeez, man, like Hussam. Yeah, just a few technical difficulties, guys. Yeah, everything was fine on my part, but we are going to have that Mo Salah debate. I mean, that's the ambition, if we can sort out the Wi-Fi issue, because I've got a lot of things to say to Hussam about Mo Salah, and yeah, he was trying to start the debate the other night as well, but as long as we can sound okay, then that's great. I have subscribed. Shout out to Red Chili. Can you hear me, Hussam? And are we in sync, sir?
All good now. 100% fine.
All good, baby. Yeah, all good, baby. Yeah, right then. Hussam,
I think
do you
it's
remember the
StreamYard
conversation?
trying
Sorry,
to stop
Hussam,
us.
do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, I do want to introduce myself, but I think it's StreamYard trying to stop us. StreamYard, you cannot stop greatness. You cannot stop
You cannot
greatness.
stop greatness.
You cannot. Big up to James Redmond. First of all, make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel as well. Hi guys, I'm Hussam. The infamous Bases host. You get to be the guy who does Liverpool content. Happy to be here. Thanks to James for having me. And yeah, this is my channel. This is my right here.
It's a pleasure to have you on, Hussam. And guys, one thing that me and Hussam was discussing the other day when I went on his channel, by the way, that is now in the title. If you refresh the video, won't take it away. We were talking about Mohamed Salah. We were having a debate, and Hussam, you had a couple of questions to raise on my opinions on Mo Salah, and I can take that you're a huge fan of someone who undoubtedly has been a legend, but we had our differences. Now, if you want to just say to the chat what your views are on Mo Salah, and then what your problem was with what I had to say.
I think the thing is with Mo Salah, I think we kind of have let rival fans a little bit cloud our judgment with him. Our own fan base as well. I think we're a little bit too harsh on him now. Before people think like I don't think Mo Salah's played up to his level this year. He really hasn't. So I think I said this to James as well. I think Alisson is the absolute best player in the whole team by a mile. So it's not even 1A, 1B. It's like Alisson's the best, and then the second is like way far behind. Like
I'm still
way far
listening, by
behind.
the way, Hussam. Keep going.
So I think the second is way far behind. My only thing with Salah is like I feel like the whole narrative that kind of Salah is just a goal scorer, I think it's just kind of a forced narrative, to be honest with you. I don't think Salah is just a goal scorer. I think Salah is probably our most creative player in the final third. And as on top of that, I think he's our best goal scorer as well. So you look at our outfield players this year, bar Bajcetic, who's a youngster, so we can't really count that. I think Salah's been probably our best outfield player, even though he's had absolutely horrible performances this season, just like everyone else, just like all the world-class players. But for me, I just think with Mo, his creative side is always underappreciated because I think he's extremely creative, especially in the final third.
So yeah, I want to respond. First and foremost, I think everything you say is fair. What he has been is fantastic, and I also just want to say as well, what I was doing then was looking for me headphones because I don't want to talk over you, because I don't think you're going to like what I'm going to have to say next. And it's a very simple thing. It's something that I've been thinking about for a couple of days. But honestly, Hussam, I think that the time for Mo Salah's done. I think he's the best has been shown from Mohamed Salah's standpoint. First and foremost, last season, yeah, he got goals, but it was nothing but tap-ins. And I know tap-ins still have some sort of value, Hussam. But from a guy who at one point was just electrifying, constant chances, this, that, and the other. Last season just didn't look the same at all. And I've just got to sit here and say, brother, do you know when I see fans sitting there just being okay with him starting every game, just shows me there's no ball IQ in football no more. Zero. And then do you know when you sit there and say he's a creator, Hussam? Everything you ever say on your channel, absolutely adore it. That one thing right there, my friend, can't understand it. What, because he gets just assists alone, so he puts a final pass into a player. It's not unlike a Trent. Trent is a creator. Salah is nothing like Trent. Kevin De Bruyne is a creator. He's nothing like that either. So I think from that standpoint, what you're doing, you're putting him on a pedestal that doesn't exist because you're saying he's a creator and he doesn't deserve to be there. If you did want to say he's a volume merchant, then that's fine. If you want to say he's a stat merchant, that's also fine. Anything else beyond that, I do think you're massively overrating him, brother.
I don't think I'm overrating him at all. I think you're underrating him, if anything. I'm not saying he's like a KDB level creator, but he definitely is creative in the final third. You know, some of the passes he plays in the final third, you know, is just, it's not something normal that anyone can do. Even you look at kind of like right now the player that's probably going to get into like the team of the season, Bukayo Saka on that right hand side, and those passes in the final third that Salah makes look easy are actually incredibly difficult passes. You look, for example, at the goal that Gakpo scored against Man United, that goal where he sent Martinez back to Argentina. That for example...
That was basic. Come on.
No.
Martinez is just a little
pass.
tiny person.
That's not a pass that any right winger in the world would do. That's the thing.
What?
Yeah, it's not. It really isn't.
Do you want me to tell you why? Because of his lack of ability. That's the only instead of using his right foot, he'll use his left foot. That's the only thing, Hussam. That's why he'll do the outside of the foot shot.
Why would he change to his right foot?
I'm just using other examples where instead of using his right foot, he decides to use his left because of the lack of technical ability. True or false?
False.
False.
I think he's got technical ability. Yes. You know, here's my thing, right? Let me tell you why I'm.
He's got at least 2-star skill moves.
Let me tell you, it's not about skill moves. Let me tell you what the thing is with Salah, right? This is my thing with this whole Salah conversation. I try to be balanced on it. My issue is when people act like he's Jamie Vardy on the wing, or when people act like he's Neymar. He's not Vardy and he's not Neymar. There exists a world in between. He's not as creative as Neymar, but he's not as non-creative as Vardy being on the wing. So he has a creative side.
Hussam, hold that thought very quick. Chat, let me know if there's an echo now, because now I've moved the microphone away from the laptop, so I don't want it to echo off that. Right, anyway, Hussam, carry on.
Yeah, I think the echo went, by the way. The thing is, like, so yeah, as I said, I just, like, what you're describing is essentially Vardy on the wing. That's basically what you're describing. That, for me, is an inaccurate description of Salah. I don't think, he's not Neymar, and he's not, like, Vardy on the wing either. He's in the middle. He's just, he's not as creative as the all-time greats, but he's creative too. My thing is there's a gray area, man. Like, it's not like he's either unbelievable or he's just crap and he's just a tap-in merchant. I don't think he's a tap-in merchant either. He scored some brilliant goals even this year. Like, he scored great goals. So, listen, for me, I think his goal scoring...
Do you think you could score some great goals if you got 100 chances?
No, not like Mo Salah. And by the way, the whole volume
you couldn't
thing...
score one curler in the top bins, Hussam. Come on. Right, where's the self-belief?
I was a DM. That's what I did. I played DM. I played DM. You know what it is? Like, here's the thing. When you say he's done, or like we want to move him on or whatever, you even look at the right-wing market. And you know, I know your FSG out as well. Knowing how this club operate, they're probably, like, if we do sell Salah, they're probably going to get you, like, I don't know, Harvey Barnes and go like, that's Salah's replacement. And then at the end of the year...
That'd be on FSG's par for not replacing him. But if they got an adequate right winger, let's say someone on the level of Ousmane Dembele, I understand that one's not particularly realistic, but someone with that bit more technical ability, tell me you wouldn't want those... You wouldn't want that silkiness on the wing. You say creativity. He's creative. He's
creative. But Ousmane Dembele would play 3 games in the Prem.
Don't tell me that I don't know ball and that Dembele would not be a great signing for Liverpool. I think he's probably the guy to replace Mo Salah.
He'd play 3 games in the Prem. He'd play 3 games. He's injured all the time.
Hussam, I've just learned the type of person that you are. A great gentleman, first and foremost. But you're the type of guy to say that Salah's better than Hazard, aren't you? You're that type of guy. What?
Of course.
No, Hussam, don't do this.
I am doing this. I am doing this. I think Salah's better than Hazard.
Hussam. Don't disappoint me, Hussam. What, go
I
on,
think
what's the
Salah is
reasoning?
better than Hazard though.
On what premise?
Consistency, consistent deliverance,
So
no
longevity is your
off-season.
sole premise.
No, but when you say longevity is your sole premise, you look at Eden Hazard. He objectively had 2 off-seasons, moved to Real Madrid in his prime, and did absolutely nothing. That could go down as the worst transfer in history of football. Like 100 million, and he ain't even starting ahead of a young Vinicius or a young Rodrigo, 18-year-olds coming from Brazil. So like for
Prime
me,
Eden Hazard does not go over Salah.
no, prime Salah's better.
At what? Name one thing that he's better at.
Goal scoring, positioning, consistency, playmaking in the final third. They both have it. Chill, relax. They both have it. But of course, I think Hazard's better at it. Dribbling, of course, Hazard. But I think here's the thing. I don't think Hazard on the left wing for Liverpool would have done what Salah would have done on the right wing for us.
Yeah.
Even prime Hazard wouldn't.
Do you know people in the chat as well saying that I've got low football IQ? I just understand that user or stat merchants. Like, that's what the new football.
But I haven't mentioned the stat once.
I'm not. No, but you did. You said he's a goal. When I mentioned you and him and Hazard, you mentioned goal scoring. The first thing I mentioned to you, you mentioned goal scoring. So you have mentioned stats.
Yeah,
That
you told me
theme.
what he's better at Hazard than. Of course, it's gonna be goal scoring is the first thing that's gonna pop up because he's obviously elite at that.
Yeah,
And it's not just
Do you know
volume.
what? Go on.
Do you watch the NBA?
No.
Okay. Even if you don't, here's the thing. You probably heard of Steph Curry because he takes a lot of threes. He scores a lot of threes.
Curry. Do you know how many times I land a Curry shot, lad? Don't even start with me, Hussam. Come on.
Listen, Steph Curry doesn't have the highest 3-point percentage in the NBA, but because he takes so many, he's still regarded as the greatest shooter of all time because he makes a lot of the difficult ones as well. From Mo Salah's perspective, since 17-18, he's essentially been guarded or defended by 2 people minimum. And on top of that, he always finds a way to be in position, which shows you IQ levels. He's always in the right place at the right time to score goals. So, and the reason why you see the likes of Son or blah, 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 maybe at a higher, finishing percentage than him is because they just don't take as much risks as him. He's willing to take a shot from outside. He's willing to cut in and shoot, even if it gets blocked or deflected or whatever. So he takes risks in the final third, which I like.
Fair dues. I appreciate the football and knowledge, Hussam. Shout out to Shad. Hey, Hussam, do you ever get like really stupid people in your chat, like just dumb people?
Yes, plenty of.
I get dumb people. Here's one of them. Busted you, James. You're just trying to make convo. Good to vape. And will say Salah. Still class later in the stream. You did this with Grizz. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this at all. This is actually be a joke because here's the thing with Grizz. What was we talking about again? It was Fabinho, wasn't it? And I said, oh yeah, like he's finished this, that. No. Like Fabinho, he's someone who I believe is 1 foot out the door, needs to start looking at, but still got a place. Mohamed Salah's one of those where he just cannot be, in my opinion, the regular right wing next season. And if you don't think I'm being serious, chat, then you really need to start learning about the all-round game of football. Stats is not everything. And if a goal scorer is going to take round from your all-round game, then yous are the deluded ones, not me. Shout out to Luke Vex T. Hazard 100%, not stats-wise, but I actually watch.
If you ask these Chelsea fans, if you ask them Gerrard or Lampard, they'd say Lampard because of GA. They're just disingenuous.
Maybe. Cheese Doodle says Hazard levels above. We'll ask Cheese Doodle who he supports. But Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, I suppose the final question then on Mo Salah. He's the guy to win us league titles in the near and distant future?
Yes, absolutely. I think he can 100% be a player that plays up until he's 35, 36 because of the way he takes care of himself. I mean, even if you look at his injury record, for example, I don't want to jinx him because I have bad jinx, but he's only got injured like 2-3 times over the last 5 years. And when it comes to Mo, like, I think he could genuinely be a football player at Liverpool Football Club till he's 35, 36. And I think he could maintain consistency levels. And only when he's gone... Only when he's gone. I love
you because of that reason, but you are wild. You are wild, my friend.
I am wild. Yes. No, but you see how the man takes care of himself. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do anything wild. Like,
no, you're a CR7 fan because he's got a 6-pack. You're happy with him
No, no,
playing
no,
till
no,
he's
no,
about
no, no, no.
41?
Don't smear me with that shit.
Come
Messi's the
on.
GOAT.
Let me give you one
Messi's the GOAT.
reference. One
Messi's the GOAT.
reference. One reference. Do you know before Ronaldo joined Manchester United, where did they finish?
Where did they finish? I don't. Probably they won the league, maybe, or second.
No, I'm not saying first time. I'm saying second time. So he
Oh,
he
the
left.
Ollie times. Yeah, yeah, they
Yes.
finished second.
Finished second. When he left, when he joined and had that first season, where did they finish? So they went from second to where?
I think they finished like fifth or sixth.
Sixth. So a player like Ronaldo came in, scored them mega goals in all competitions, yet they went from second to sixth. The two out of the last 3 seasons, we've had Mo Salah not playing good in the all-round game, but just getting goals. And you've saw the drop-off that we've had. I only raise the question, if it takes a detriment to the all-round team, you probably want to start looking for replacements. Hussam,
No, but I don't
before
think
we
it's a
wrap up...
detriment to the team.
Go
That's
on.
where me and you disagree. I disagree with the premise. I don't think he's a detriment to the team at all. I think he makes our team better, if anything. You look at that final third. If you analyze our forwards right now, Nunez can't hit a barn door. Luis Diaz is an unbelievable futsal player. Dribble, dribble, dribble. When it comes time to make that easy final third pass that Mo Salah does with ease, because it's so easy, he can't make that pass. And when the time comes for the easy tap-in, Diaz doesn't make that easy tap-in. I think Jota is great. He just gets injured a lot and he goes on long goal-scoring droughts. Just this season, he was on a year goal-scoring drought. So Gakpo, I really like Cody Gakpo. I think he's quite creative. He's good at build-up play, all of that. So I really like him. But you look at Mo Salah, and he actually makes all of them better. Like, if you actually watch a Salah comp, the amount of misses, like, I'm going to take your mind back to a time when Salah wasn't even
Just
playing
know
that
that
well.
he's referenced a compilation, chat. A compilation.
No, I'm not.
Sorry, Hussam.
Listen.
Carry on.
Listen, a Salah comp is either a Darwin Núñez miscomp or a Mane miscomp. That's it. And this, I'll say 2 things. Now, you go back to the Crystal Palace
You're
game.
not about to shit on Mane, are you?
100% I am. The first,
No.
James.
Don't do it.
James.
Don't do it.
James.
I
He's
can kick you
about
off
to
my
sign
stream, you
for
fuck.
Al Ittifaq in Saudi Arabia. That's where he's about to play in his prime. Exactly. Anyway, as I was saying, thank you very much, James Redmond. When you go to the second game this season, Crystal Palace, right? Salah alone in that game created, I'm not talking about scored or GA, created Darwin Núñez 3 goal-scoring opportunities. Not goal-scoring, absolute goal-scoring opportunities. He missed all 3 of them. This is the thing I've seen. Salah is creative. My issue is, I'll just give you bottom line. I don't want to do monologues. My thing is, I've always maintained this. Neymar is a lot more creative than Salah. But can we stop acting like Salah's Jamie Vardy on the right-hand side where all he does is run in behind and score? That's not what he does. He's very creative. He holds up the ball. He creates space for others. He does a whole lot of stuff on the football pitch. And he's injury-free. That's the thing.
Shout out to Mark. He says, would you sell Salah to PSG for Mbappe? Not even a question.
I just don't think it's realistic.
I'd drive him to wherever he needs. I'd drive him to Paris.
Do you think it's realistic though?
No, of course it's not. We're never going to get Mbappe as long as we live. Never as long as we live, especially with FSG as owners. But
Imagine paying Mbappe 1 million a week, like.
Don't mind if I diddly do, my friend, yeah? You know that score, Hussam, yeah? Hey, Hussam, respect me knuckles, yeah? You know the dance, lad, you know the dance. Yeah, you're a stat merchant, but I love you, lad, you know what I mean? You're a little stat merchant. You're not a stat merchant.
Man.
Oh, you start me, Hussam, you're a stat
Messi's
merchant.
my goat, bro.
Chat, a W for Hussam being a stat merchant, and L if he's got ball knowledge. A W for stat merchant, L for ball knowledge.
Spam L chat.
Name 4 better right wingers than Salah in the Premier League. Okay, Saka, he's one.
Oh, stop it.
No,
so
Bukayo
bad.
Saka's better than Mohamed Salah. Come on,
he's
come
not.
on.
No,
He's got way more to his game. He was playing right back. He got Arsenal. What?
First of all, Salah was playing left back in Egypt. Second of all, if I bring you an Arsenal fan to the stream, he'd tell you Salah's better than Saka. He's an Arsenal fan.
Arsenal fans smoke budge as well.
Bro, if they had Salah instead of Saka, they'd be sat here Premier League winners. Let me not even.
Let me not even. The chat's absolutely going for it.
The chat is on, by the way. There's
don't
500
don't
Ls,
hate
by
you.
the way.
It's made my laptop go slower with all the L's that there was. Shout out to Amraj. Do you know how to pronounce this gentleman's name, Hussam, by any chance? Because I'm having a nightmare. Grand. Don't have to diss one club legend to praise another. But is Mo Salah even a club legend? I'm only messing with you, of course he is. Saka is better than Salah at nothing.
Not even
That was a good one.
by the way.
Oh, come on, Hussam. Hussam, can I tell you something, my friend?
Like that. He really ain't.
Hussam, can I tell you something?
Yes.
I've been lying the whole time, my friend. Like, I don't want Salah to go. I'm very happy with him at our service. And I just wanted you to have a mini heart attack for the time that on your debut on James Redmond TV. How do you feel that you lost the debate to a person who didn't even believe what he was talking about?
First of all, I didn't lose the debate. I'm undefeated in debate. Because you know what it is? I realize with you don't do low blows. If we're doing an actual debate, I go real low with them debates. If you start a Mane debate,
okay.
Oh Lord.
Okay. So Hussam, so going forward, the chat can expect us to just absolutely low bollocks each other when it comes to debates.
Absolutely. Triple H,
love
dirty.
That. DX settings. You know the score, Hussam. I'm going to spend all my P's to dispute this blasphemy. Well, the blasphemy is no more. It's non-existent. Mohamed Salah's the GOAT. In fact, Hussam, if you go back and watch the start of the stream, the same goes for the chat. If you've unsubscribed, it's fine. Come back, my children. We're all Gucci, mate. We love Mo Salah. Mo Salah's elite. I said it at the start of the stream. I actually defended Mo Salah. That was the controversy I raised. I raised the controversy that Mo Salah doesn't get enough respect, Hussam. What are you saying about that?
That's fact. He don't get enough respect at all.
That's
I will only respect him when he's gone.
Do you know what fucked with me? And we've got 7 minutes of your presence, so I want to make the most out of it. What fucked with me, though? And this was... You mentioned low blows. You kind of gave me one. You mentioned Sadio. You mentioned Sir Sadio. Do you want me to tell you what I didn't appreciate about you mentioned Sir Sadio? The little dig about the Saudi League, like as if that weren't the player who was one of the main contributors to you winning or getting to see every single trophy being lifted. So you pay a little bit more respect. Shout out to
Listen,
Reggie.
I have no problem with Mane. I loved Mane. I think Mane was unbelievable in the years we were successful. But since the 2020-2021 season, he did fall off. My only problem was with people just not recognizing that his levels fell off massively. Like James, that first 6 months of last season, I'm talking like August till January, Mane was bad. I still remember people going like, yo, we need to drop this guy, start Jota. I still remember the fight he had with Klopp at Old Trafford, I think it was, when he didn't start Mane or something, and they kind of get into an argument at the end of the game. Like, I have nothing against Mane. I just think he fell off. I don't think we miss Mane at all. I think he was the
best player in the last 6 months of his time at Liverpool. No doubt.
No, I disagree.
Not even a question, Hussam. Not even a question.
I disagree completely.
It's not even a question.
I disagree completely. I think the best player in the last 6 months of the quadruple charge was none other than the part-timer who's currently injured, Thiago Alcantara. That who was the best player.
He was up there, but come on, lad, Mane in that new number 9 role, like he was unbelievable. He
was
fantastic.
NFT midfield elevated us, by the way.
For 2 seasons ago, he was crap, but the one before the quadruple season, crap. He was terrible. But that season, I'm sorry, lad, I won't allow any Mane slander. In fact, I'd argue that was the best version of Mane at the club of his whole tenure. He was
first 6 months.
His last 6 months, he was unreal, yeah, for sure.
And the first
big
6?
reason why he was the big reason why we got to all the finals.
And the first 6, James?
What about the first 6?
No, you tell me. You're the Mane guy.
Where was Salah for the second 6? Yeah, go on. Where was he after that?
See, this is where the first time I'm going to mention a stat.
Oh,
Salah actually had more GA in the second half of the season.
Okay, so now that's actually just proven that my false argument before of calling you a stat merchant reigns supreme. Mane contributed so... Do you remember his assist against Man United? I've just done you there, Hussam, and you know it.
No.
Yeah, you're being a troll now. Yeah. Thought you could do a Redmonds on Redmonds. What I was about to do then, Hussam? I was about to do one of these.
No. In the second half, Mane was better, definitely. But overall, over the period they were here together, I'd definitely give it Salah. Mane was great. He just fell off, man. Here's the thing. You know, this is always my base argument. I don't want Mane back. I don't want Coutinho back. I don't want Emre Can back. I don't want anyone back. I want fresh faces, fresh people at the football club, new people who are going to take us to new heights. It's just like this whole thing. Like Liverpool are just like, as a fan base, sometimes we're just always clinging on to our exes. Like, let go. Let go. I want to see someone new, bro. That's all I'm
Now,
saying.
I don't want Mane back ever, but I can't let you sit there and say like Salah's levels above Mane in terms of legacy. I mean, they're close. They're a lot closer than what you're saying. Mane was
Yeah, not
huge for
levels
our
above.
success.
Maybe 3 levels.
Right, before we let Hussam go, chat. By the way, Hussam, shout out to you, brother. I've loved this stream. I also want to say one thing before we end. Everyone who's not City needs a consistent scorer. Yeah, for sure. No, listen, that's why I respect Mo Salah. Don't get me wrong. There's always a few hints of truth when I jest. I do still believe he is still limited technically. I don't think he's amazing at all things, but he's very good at what he does, which is scoring goals. He gets in the right positions to create goals, and for that reason, I'm very okay with him in the team. In fact, Salah's presence is the reason why I don't want Núñez in the starting 11, because they're very like for like for me. So I'd rather see Gakpo in that number 9, Diaz on the left, Salah on the right, going forward next season, and that's happy days. I love this as well. The fake argument has caused the real one.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Mate, that was an insane stream. Guys, we're going to leave it there. I appreciate everyone who came in the chat. And Hussam, thank you so much for coming through, brother. I don't know how many subs you're on. I would love those subs to jump up after this stream. Guys, if you can really show yourselves as a good representation, go over, show people what we can do when they collab with us, that we're going to subscribe, we're going to support them because they support us with their presence. Go subscribe to his channel. It's in the title. Hussam, any last words after your debut on the JRTV YouTube channel?
FSG out.
FSG out.
Get Mbappe to Anfield somehow. We can only dream. Yeah, make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to James Redmond TV. And he's once again wearing a cap in support of his bald brother. You can't try this. Cannot try this
My
in support of his bald
man,
brother,
geez,
right?
look at the armpit here. That's crazy. We need to go. We need to. By the way, it suits you. The skinhead suits you. You know who, Sam?
Oh, don't call me skinhead, man. I don't have a motorcycle.
You're not a bit, I don't know, lad, like, you're not a bit of a skinhead, you know what I mean, lad, that's what I call. But guys, turn those dislikes into likes as well, because I never meant a word of what I said about Mo Salah. Cortel Rodri at the end. Saludos, amigos. Adios. Hasta la vista.
Vamos.
Hasta la vista, baby. And we will see you soon, guys. Greatness all